Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an ancient strategic masterpiece to figure out how to solve a puzzle that seems, well, pretty much impossible.
Okay, I want you to imagine you're a general. You've got 30,000 soldiers. Now, your enemy, they've got 200,000. That's more than 6 times your number, and they are dug in, waiting for you in a fortified pass with every single geographical advantage on their side.
I mean, it seems hopeless, right? But believe it or not, more than 2,000 years ago, a general named Han Xin took this exact scenario and turned it into one of the most brilliant victories in all of history. And he did it by unlocking a secret from Sun Tzu's Art of War.
This right here, this is the core principle. In Chinese, it's 以正和,以奇胜. And trust me, understanding what these words really mean is the key to turning a losing hand into a decisive win.
Now, a lot of people think they get this. They see Orthodox and Unorthodox, and they think, oh, simple battlefield tactics. But that common understanding, it's really just the first layer of a much, much deeper strategic truth.
So the common view sees Zheng as, your standard frontal attack, and Qi as a surprise flank. And that's not wrong, but it's just the basics. The deeper meaning, the one with all the power, is that Zheng is about principle, it's the expected, while Qi is about flexibility, creativity, and everything unconventional.
Think of Zheng as your solid foundation. It's the part of your plan that the enemy sees and expects. It's the moves that follow the rules of the game. This is what gives you stability and structure.
Qi, on the other hand, that's the lightning strike. It's the total surprise, the move that creates absolute chaos and opens up opportunities precisely because no one saw it coming. It's that creative spark that just shatters the enemy's entire plan.
Here's the thing, Sun Tzu didn't just see these as 2 separate tactics. No, he saw them as a dynamic, flowing system of transformation. And to explain this, he used some incredible metaphors from the natural world.
He taught that the potential for Qi, for that unconventional strategy, is literally infinite. It's as endless as heaven and earth, as inexhaustible as the rivers. Your strategic creativity should never, ever run dry.
And this just brilliantly illustrates their relationship. The Orthodox can suddenly become the Unorthodox, and the Unorthodox can become the Orthodox. It's this continuous, powerful cycle, kind of like day turning into night. It's like how there are only 5 basic musical notes, but the combinations are endless. Jing and Qi are those basic elements. The genius is in their infinite variation.
Okay, so let's see how this profound theory actually works in the real world, in one of the most high-stakes battles in history, the Battle of Jingsheng, back in 24 BC.
So, check out these odds. On one side, you've got General Han Xin of the Han army with just 30,000 soldiers. On the other side, the Zhao army with a massive force of 200,000, all securely fortified in the Jingxing Pass. Han Xin was hopelessly outnumbered and totally outmaneuvered geographically.
So facing these impossible odds, Han Xin didn't even flinch. Instead, he came up with a plan that was an absolute masterclass in combining the Orthodox and the Unorthodox.
His strategy was built on 2 totally distinct but connected deployments. First, he sent out a hidden unorthodox force. And second, he positioned his very visible Orthodox force in what looked like a deliberately terrible, almost suicidal position.
This was his Qi force, a small, super agile unit sent on a top-secret mission. Their only job? To wait for the perfect moment of surprise and chaos. They were basically the hidden dagger.
And then there was his Zhang force, his main group of troops. But he placed them in a way that just defied all military convention. See, deploying with your back to a river meant no escape. It was a death sentence. The enemy generals saw this and literally laughed out loud, thinking Han Xin was a complete amateur.
So here is the crucial point. Han Xin used a standard formation, the Sheng, but he used it in a completely unconventional Qi kind of way. He knew this death ground would do 2 things. First, it would trick the enemy into thinking his army was trapped in an easy target. And second, it would force his own men, with 0 hope of retreat, to fight with the superhuman desperation of people defending their very lives.
And the battle? It unfolded exactly as he planned. First, Han Xin lured the entire Zhao army out of their camp to crush his supposedly trapped force. While his men fought for their lives by the river, his hidden Qi cavalry swept in and captured the now empty camp. The Zhao army turned back, saw their own base covered in enemy flags, and total panic set in. Their formation collapsed, and they were completely routed.
The result was just one of the most stunning victories in military history. Han Xin didn't just win, he absolutely annihilated a vastly superior force. He did it by masterfully turning orthodox convention and pure desperation into devastating strategic weapons.
So, what can we take away from this incredible ancient battle? Well, the principle of Xing and Qi is a timeless lesson that goes way beyond the battlefield. This modern interpretation, Shouzheng Chuqi, really captures the idea perfectly. It's all about building on a solid foundation, mastering the rules, and then using that stability to launch creative, game-changing innovations. And this is not just for generals. In business, you master your industry's fundamentals, your Xing, before you disrupt it with your Qi. In art, you learn the classical techniques before you create a whole new style. And in your own life, you build stable habits and routines so you have a secure base from which to launch your own creative, unconventional breakthroughs.
It's a really powerful way to think about how to achieve the impossible. So ask yourself, in your world, what's your solid foundation, your Zhang? And where's that opportunity for a breakthrough, your Qi? What's the river you can put at your back to unleash your full potential? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.